Good morning. In this video, we'll be discussing about 8251 Programmable Communication Interface. 8251 USART is a universal synchronous and asynchronous control designed by Intel basically to facilitate communication. USART stands for Universal Synchronous Asynchronous Receiver Transmitter and functions as intermediately that allows serial and parallel communication between the microprocessor and peripheral devices. We know that microprocessor allows parallel communication, and in parallel communication the number of cables required for data transmission is equal to the number of bits to be transmitted per cycle. Thus, the approach of transmitting data parallelly to long distance is cost ineffective. So, to reduce the overall cost of the system despite parallel data communication between the processor and peripheral devices, the serial transfer of data is permitted. Hence, for this purpose, USART acts as a mediator between the processor and peripheral device so that the parallel data from the processor can be converted into serial data and effectively transferred to the peripheral devices. In a similar way, the serial data from the peripheral device is converted by the USART into parallel form so that it can be accepted by the processor. Also, it allows both synchronous and asynchronous transmission and reception, thus is called so. Let us start with the basics of serial communication. The process of sending data bit by bit sequentially over a single channel between sender and receiver is known as serial transmission of data. It requires only one communication line rather than n lines to transmit data from sender to receiver. For correct data transmission, there has to be some form of synchronization between transmitter and receiver. Serial communication reduces the cost of IC package by reducing the number of pins used for communication between different ICs instead of using parallel communication. Let us see some of the definitions of which we will be using in serial communication. Bit rate. Bit rate is nothing but of number of bits sent per every second. And baud rate. Baud rate is nothing but of number of symbols sent every second, where every symbol can be represent more than one bit. The sender and receiver must agree on a set of rules or protocols, that is when the data transmission begins and ends, and the next is nothing but of the used bit rate and data package format. Synchronous data transfer. In synchronous data transfer, sender and receiver uses the same clock signal. Support high data transfer rate. Now also it needs clock signal between the sender and the receiver. A master or one of the sender should provide the clock signal to all the receiver in the synchronous data transfer. In asynchronous data transfer, for asynchronous data transfer, there is no common clock signal between the sender and receiver. Sender provides a synchronization signal to the receiver before starting the transfer of each message. The sender and the receiver first need to agree on the data transfer speed, and it initiates the communication. The data transfer rate is being comparatively slower when we compare to that of the synchronous data transfer rate. Synchronous transmission is efficient, reliable, and is used for transferring a large amount of data. Communication is performed based on synchronization of signals added to each bit for sending from the sender side. Synchronization between the source and the target is required so that the source knows where the new byte begins since there is no space between the data. It provides real-time communication between connected devices, that is chat room, video conferencing, telephone conversation, as well as face-to-face interaction or some of the examples of synchronous transmission. In asynchronous transmission, data flow as one byte or a character at a time. For asynchronous transmission, a start bit is used to define the beginning of each character, and at least one stop bit is used to identify end of data character, that is known as bit synchronization. Effectively, the sender and receiver are synchronized on a character by character basis. Asynchronous serial data communication is widely used for character-oriented transmission, while block-oriented data transfer uses synchronous method. In the asynchronous method, each character is placed between start and stop bit. This is called a frame or framing. Let us have a look on data transmission type. Simplex. In simplex system, the communication is possible in only one direction. For example, our television transmission. Half duplex. In half duplex, communication is possible in both the direction, but only transmit and one receiver at a time. For example, police radio. Full duplex method. In full duplex method, communication is possible in both the direction. Both sides can transmit and receive in the same time. For example, our telephone, mobile phones, etc. Coming to the USART, the USART module is a full duplex serial input-output communication peripheral. It is packed in a 28-pin dual inline package, and it contains all shift registers, clock generators, and data buffers needed for serial communication. It can work in synchronous mode or in asynchronous mode. The USART uses two I/O pins to transmit and receive serial data. Both transmission and reception can occur at the same time, that is full duplex operation. To send a byte, the application writes the byte to the transmit buffer. The USART then sends the data bit by bit in the requested format, adding stop, start, and parity bits as needed. In a similar way, the USART stores received bytes in the receiver buffer. Then the USART can generate an interrupt to notify the processor to find out if data has arrived or not. Let us see the sections of 8255 in detail now. It has data bus buffer, read-write control logic, modem control, transmit and receiver. First, we will see about the data bus buffer. This data bus buffer is bidirectional 8-bit buffer used to interface internal data bus of 8251 to the microprocessor's data bus. The direction of data transfer through the data bus is decided by the read and write signals. This buffer transfers control word, status word, and data to transfer. Let us now discuss about the read-write control logic. This read-write control logic controls the operation of the peripherals depending upon the operation intended by the processor. The control signals read, write, C bar, D bar, C/D bar, CTS bar, clock and reset are given to this block to generate control signals for this device. It includes a control logic, 6 input control signal and 3 buffer registers. 2 8-bit data buffer register are there one is for transmitter and one is for the receiver. And one 16-bit control word register is there. It is named as two separate registers, mode word register and command word register, and it has a one 8-bit status register also. The control logic. The control logic interfaces the chip with the microprocessor, which determines the function of the chip according to the control word in the control register and monitors the data flow. Control register. The control register is a 16-bit register for a control word consists of two independent bytes, namely mode word and command word. Mode word specifies the general characteristics of operations such as baud rate, parity, number of bits, etc., whereas the command word enables the data transmission and reception. Status register. The status register checks the ready status of the peripheral. Status words in the status register provides the information concerning register status and transmission error. The data register is used as an input and an output port when C/D bar is low. The table shows the operation of the 8251 when C bar D bar is of 0 or 1. When CS bar is of 0, the CS is nothing but of chip select. When it is of 0, then this 8251 chip is being selected, that is being enabled. And when C/D bar is equal to 0 and write is equal to 1 and RD bar is equal to 0 means, then mu-P reads the data from the data buffer. When the write bar signal is enabled and RD bar is of disabled and CS and CD bar of 0 means at that instant of time the microprocessor writes data from data buffer. When CD bar is equal to 1 and RD bar is equal to 1 and write bar is equal to 0, then microprocessor writes a word to the control register, right? So when CD bar is equal to 1 and write bar is equal to 1 and disabling the read bar, the microprocessor reads a word from a status register. If CS bar is equal to 1, then the chip is not selected for any operation. So the 8251 can't make any serial communication. So this C bar D bar is going to determine whether it is going to send the data in words or in by means of bytes. If it is of 0, then it is going to send the read or write the data in bytes. If it is of 1, it is going to read or write the data in words. Let us see about the transmitter section now. The section consists of a transmitter buffer register, output register and transmitter control logic. This section has one input and three outputs. The transmitter buffer register accepts parallel data from the data bus of the microprocessor. Then data can be shifted out of the output register on the TXD pin after addition of framing bits. The serial data bits are preceded by the start bit and succeeded by the stop bit, which are known as framing bits. From this operation, the transmitter must be enabled and CTS signal must be active low. The TXC signal is the transmitter clock signal which controls the bit rate of the TXD line. The clock frequency may be 1, 16 or 64 times the baud rate. In the asynchronous mode, the transmitter adds a start bit depending on how the unit is programmed. It is also adds an optional even or add parity bit and either 1, 1.5 or 2 stop bits. When the transmitter buffer register is empty, it outputs a signal TXRDY. It indicates to the CPU that the 8251 is ready to accept a data character. When there is no data in the transmitter output register, then it rises a TXE signal to indicate that the transmission is stopped. It is reset when the data is transferred from the buffer register. Receiver section. This section consists of a receiver buffer register, receiver control logic, and input register. The receiver section of 8251 USART accepts serial data on the RxD pin. Then it converts the data into parallel data according to the required format. When the 8251 is in the asynchronous mode and it is ready to accept a character, it looks for a low level on the RxD pin. When it gets a low level, it assumes that it is a start bit and enables an internal counter at a count equivalent to 1/2 of a bit time. The RxD line is sampled again. If the line is still low, a valid start bit has probably been received and the 8251 proceeds to assemble the character. If the RxD line is high when it is sampled, then either a noise pulse has occurred or the receiver has become enabled in the middle of the transmission of character. In either case, the receiver aborts its operation and prepare itself to accept a new character. After the successful reception of a start bit, the 8251 clocks in the data parity and stop bit in the input register. The data is separated and converted into parallel data and then transfers the data to the receiver buffer register. The RX RDY signal is asserted to indicate that a character is available. The RXC falling edge clock signal is used to disassemble the bits from the serial data. When this register is full, the RX RDY line becomes high. This line is then used either to interrupt the microprocessor or to indicate its own status. The microprocessor then accepts the data from the register. The RXC line stands for receiver clock. This signal controls the rate at which bits are received by the input register. The clock can be set to 1, 16 or 64 times the baud rate in the asynchronous mode. Modem control. The modem connection of IC8251 is shown here. The modem control section provides the generation of RTS, that is request to send, and the reception of CTS, that is clear to send. This section also provides a general purpose output DTR, stands for data terminal ready, and a general purpose input DSR, data set ready. The DTR is generally assigned to the modem, indicating that the terminal is ready to communicate, and DSR bar is a signal from the modem indicating that it is ready for communication. Let us discuss about the pin diagram of 8251. The figure shows a schematic diagram of Intel 8251 and the pin configuration of 8251. Pin D0 to D7 or 8-bit data bus. This 82 data bus is used to write or write status, command word and data from or to the 8251. Read-write control logic signals. The read-write control logic consists of 3 buffer registers such as data buffer register, control register and status register, and it has 6 input signals: CS bar, C/D bar, RD bar, WR bar, CS chip select, reset and clock. The CS chip select is an active low on this input select pin 8251A for communication. When CS is high, no reading or writing operation can be performed. The data bus is tri-stated and RD bar and WR bar have no effect on the device. C/D bar is nothing but of control word or data. This pin is used to inform the 8251A that the word on the data bus is either data or control word or status information. When C/D bar pin is high, either the control register or status register will be selected. If this pin is low, the data bus buffer is selected. The RD bar and WR bar signals are used to distinguish the control register and status register respectively. The RD bar is an active low on this input informs 8251 that the microprocessor is reading either data or status information from the internal register of 8251. WR write. The active low input on WR is used to inform it that the microprocessor is writing data or control word to 8251. Reset. A high on this input forces the 8251A into an ideal state. This device will remain ideal until a new set of control word is written into it. The minimum required reset pulse width is 6 clock states for each reset operation. Clock. The CLK input is used to generate internal device timing and is normally connected to the output of the clock generator. The input frequency of clock should be greater than 30 times the receiver or transmitter data bit transfer date. TXD, TXC, TXRDY and TXE. These pins are being associated with the transmitter control pins. Let us discuss on these pins now. The TXD pin, this is an output line for transmitting serial bit out on the falling edge of TXC, which the transmitter clock. The transmitter clock input TXC controls the rate at which the data is to be transmitted. The baud rate is equal to TXC frequency in synchronous transmission mode. In asynchronous transmission mode, the baud rate is 1 by 16 or 1 by 64 times the TXC. The serial data is transmitted out by the successive negative edge of TXC. TXRDY, transmitter ready. This is an output signal which indicates to the processor that the transmitter buffer is empty. The internal circuit of the transmitter is ready to receive a byte of data from the processor for transmission. The TXRDY signal is set only when CTS bar and TXE are active. The TXRDY is reset when the processor writes a byte into a buffer register by the rising edge of WR signal. The TXRDY status bit will indicate the empty or full status of transmitter data input register. TXE, transmitter empty. When the TXE output is high, the 8251 has no character to transmit. This automatically goes low when a character is received from the processor for further transmission. If this pin is high in synchronous mode, it indicates that a character has not been loaded and the sync character or characters are being transmitted or about to be transmitted. The TXE signal can be used to indicate the end of transmission mode. Transmission control pins are being discussed now. Let us now discuss about the receiver control pins. RXD, RXC, RXRDY are of receiver control pins. RxD, receive data input. This input pin of 8251A receives serial data from outside environment and delivers to the input register via RxD line, which is subsequently put into parallel form from and placed in the receiver buffer register. RxC, receiver clock input. The RxC receiver clock input pin controls the rate at which the bits are received by the input register. In synchronous mode, the baud rate is equal to RxC frequency. In asynchronous mode, the baud rate can be set to either 1 or 1 by 16 or 1 by 64th of RxC frequency. The received data is ready into the 8251 on rising edge of RxC. Rx ready. This is an output pin which indicates that 8251 contains a character to be read by the processor. This signal can be used to interrupt the CPU as well as polled by the CPU. In synchronous mode, the receiver must be enabled to set the RxRDY signal and a character must finish assembly and then be transferred to the data output register. When the data does not read properly from the receiver data output register before assembly of the next data byte, the overrun condition error flag is set and the previous byte is overwritten by the next byte of incoming data and hence it is lost. Let us now discuss about the modem control pins. 8251 has 4 modem control pins: DSR, DTR, CTS, RTS. The DSR and RTS are inputs, but DTR and CTR are output pins. All these pins are of active low. The description of modem control pins are the DSR. The DSR is nothing but of an input, can be used as general purpose 1-bit inverting input port. The processor using a status read operation can test its status. This input is normally used to check the modem condition such as data set is ready. DTR, data terminal ready. This is a general purpose 1-bit inverting output port. This can be used by 8251 to signal the modem about the information that the device is ready to accept data. This port can be programmed using the command word. Next, CTS, clear to send. This is a 1-bit inverting input port. When the CTS input line is low, the 8251 will be enabled to send the serial data provided D0, the enable bit in the command instruction word should be enabled. If D0 becomes low in the command instruction word while the data transmission takes place, CTS bar is switched off and the transmission will complete sending the stored data. RTS, request to send data. This is a general purpose 1-bit inverting output port. This can be used by 8251 to indicate the modem that the receiver is ready to receive a data byte from the modem. Bit D5 of the command instruction format controls the status of the pin. SYNDET bar BD, that is synchronous deduct break deduct. This pin is used for deduction of synchronous character in synchronous mode and break character in asynchronous mode. This pin can be programmed using the appropriate control word. In the input mode of or the external synchronous deduction mode, a rising edge on this pin will cause 8251 to start collecting data character on the rising edge of the next RxC. This pin can be used as break deduct in asynchronous mode. When RxD pin remains low through 2 consecutive stop bit sequences, the stop bit sequence contains a stop bit, a start bit, a data bit, and a parity bit. This is reset when master chip reset or the RxD becomes high. Once the 8251 is programmed as required, the transmit ready is raised high to signal the processor that 8251 is ready to receive data byte from it, that is to be converted into serial format and transmitted. This automatically goes low when the processor writes the data into 8251. There are two functional types in 8251: mode instruction control word and command instruction control word. And the 8251 operates in two different modes as asynchronous mode and synchronous mode. Let us discuss about the mode instruction control word. Mode instruction control word defines the general operational characteristics of 8251. After reset, by using internal reset command or external reset command, the mode instruction control word must be loaded into 8251 to configure the device as per requirement. These control words are different for synchronous and asynchronous mode operation. Once the mode instruction control word has been written into 8251, the synchronous mode SYNC character or command instruction may be programmed. The mode of operation for synchronous to asynchronous or from asynchronous to synchronous can be changed by resetting the 8251. The typical data is being given in the figure. It shows the mode instruction format for asynchronous mode. Let us discuss about the asynchronous mode transmission. When a data character is set to 8251 by the processor, it adds start bit period to the serial data bit followed by optional parity bit and stop bit using the asynchronous mode instruction control word format. This sequence is then transmitted using RxD output pin on the falling edge of TXC. Let us now discuss about the asynchronous mode in reception. A falling edge on RxD pin input line marks a start bit. The receiver requires only one stop bit to mark end of the data bit string regardless of stop bit programmed at the transmitting end. The 8-bit character is then loaded into the parallel IO buffer of 8251. Rx RDY pin is raised high to indicate the CPU that a character is ready for it. If the previous character has to be read by the CPU, the new character replaces it and then overrun flag is set indicating that the previous character is lost. In synchronous mode transmission, the TXD output is high until the CPU sends a character to 8251, which usually is a sync character. When line goes low, the first character is serially transmitted out. Characters are shifted out on the falling edge of the line. Data is shifted out at the same rate as over TXD output line. If the CPU buffer becomes empty, the sync character or character are inserted in the data stream over TXD output. When the character matches, the hunting stops. The SYNDET pin set high and is reset automatically by a status read operation. In the external sync mode, the synchronization is achieved by applying a high level on the SYNDET synchronous deduct input pin that forces 8251 out to hunt mode. The high level can be removed after one cycle. The parity and overrun error both are checked in the same way as in asynchronous mode. In synchronous mode reception, the character synchronization can be achieved internally or externally. The data on the received pin is sampled on rising edge of the signal. The content of the receiver buffer is compared with the first sync character at every edge until it matches. If 8251 is programmed for 2 sync characters, the subsequent received character is also checked. The command instruction controls actual operation of the selected format like enable, transmitter, enable receiver, error reset and modem control. A reset operation returns 8251 back to the modem instruction format. Status read definition. This definition is used by the processor to read the status of the active 8251 to confirm if any error condition or other condition like the requirement of processor service has been detected during the operation.